Hi and welcome to Church Admin plugin. Today's tutorial is going to be about setting up some schedules for services that you have in your church. In England we call them rotas, so if I use the word rota then I mean schedule if you're an American user. Okay, so what I'm assuming today is that you've got the plugin installed, activated, and you've got some people in on your address list. So let's go and have a look at the screen and see what we need to do to set up some service schedules. Okay, here we go. Right, so you're on the main admin screen here and you need to scroll down and first of all check to see if you've got any sites or services set up. The plugin's designed so that you can have multiple sites and multiple services. Some people meet in different campuses and have different services running on those campuses. So first thing we need to do is check we've got some services. We don't on this install here. There's a button there that says add a service. So let's do that first. Add a service. Okay, so give it a name. Let's call it morning service. And it's on a Sunday. And we're going to put 10 o'clock as our time. We'll put main venue there. If you were setting up a site, you could. Put in the address as well for it, because we don't have one at the minute. And we'll put it on Sundays as a recurring event. We'll give it a year's worth. And when you create a calendar entry, you need to put in a finish time, so we'll put a finish time in as well. This section here was for when people were having to do service pre-booking. We're not currently doing that at the minute, so I won't bother filling that out. Then we click save service. Wait just a couple of seconds. There we go, we've got a service. Now what we need to do is begin to set up our schedule. And so what we'll do is we'll press the burger bar up there to get back to the home screen. Then we will scroll down to find schedule section, which is just here. Okay, so what we've got here is that we need to set up some schedule jobs. So basically what happens with our rota or schedule is that we need to set up some jobs. You've got a preacher, maybe setup team, worship team, welcome team, all sorts of different teams that you'd have involved with a service or services. And so what we need to do first of all is set up those jobs. So if you click that, please set up some schedule jobs first. That will bring us a new screen. Okay, it'll take us to the rota job screen and we need to add a job. Okay, so let's have setup. We're in a hired venue, so we need setup. Enable using initials. That means that if you want to shorten names down to initials, that's what will show on the rota. If you've got lots of names, lots of people, that's sometimes useful. This means that it will appear first on the rota. If you have more than one service, you could check which services you want it to be on. This one's very simple. We've only got one service at the minute. We need to create a ministry, and we've already got a setup team ministry in this case, so we're going to click setup team there and put some people in the names. Let's give ourselves some setup team. Just some random names that I've got saved in there. Okay. So that's our first scheduled job set up. Next, I'm going to put in another one just to show you what happens when you have to create a ministry. Let's go for welcome. We always have 2 people on welcome in our church. So again, it's morning service. We haven't got a welcome team yet set up, so we'll put a welcome team. Welcome team. Oops, spelling's appalling. Team, here we go. And we'll put in some people. I'm going to be on that team. My wife will be on that team. Let's put John Doe and Jane Doe on that team. So now what we've got is a rota or scheduled job called welcome, and we've got some people in a team that normally do that job. Press save job. There we go. Let's add some more just to show us what's going on. We need a worship team, worship leader even. We won't use initials. Morning service. We'll pick a team that we've already got, worship, and save schedule. Don't worry there if when you change the name of the team that the names didn't appear. That's okay, they won't be lost if you've already saved them when you've created it. Another way like ministry or something like that. Let's just finally put in a preacher. We have a lot more teams than that in reality, but anyway, it's going to take too long to do otherwise. We've got a preaching team. There we go. Okay, so now we've got some scheduled jobs. We can begin to create our rota. So we'll go back up to the top there, section menu. We'll click on schedule, and what we've got there, we haven't got a rota set up at all, so the screen's fairly blank. Now you can either create one date, or I like to do it this way, add 3 months of scheduled dates. So when you click that, it automatically populates the next 3 months of services, but there's no one there yet in the data. So let's assume next Sunday we're setting up for. So you click there, minute or two it gives you, or second or two it gives you some options. We can click the list to do that, which is great. Or we can, again, we'll do that one there. We'll put that one. Now, worship leader, I've got a guest worship leader this week. So it's not one of my normal people. Let's put Mad Redman in as our worship leader this week. And who shall we go for? We'll choose out the list for somebody, John Smith. Okay, so what you've done there is you've created your rota for the 21st, or your schedule for the 21st of August. You can copy that to another date if you want, but I just want to show you another feature that's just come in on the premium version of the plugin called Not Available. So as you saw a minute ago, when you click here, you get to choose from the people that are normally in that team. But what happens if somebody's not available one week? Well, they can set up when they are not available for a service. So what happens is you create your shortcode or block for not available and pop it on there, and then when they're logged into the website, they can show when they are not available. So I just want to demonstrate that feature. I've put myself not available as the 28th of August and the 4th of September. Save that. Now, when I go back to trying to do the rota, so I'm not available on the 28th, and when I click there, it's not got my name on the list. Whereas here, on a week that I was available, it did have my name. So it automatically protects you from adding yourself to a rota when you can't do something. Let me also just show you, it works with the drop down, but it also works if you type in the name. So you type in the name and it will tell you I've not been added because I'm not available that day, so I need to just choose somebody else. There you go. Setting up your schedules is very simple. You can change to other services, set up all sorts of different services. You can have as many services as you like, as complicated rotas as you like, and then you can show them on the front end of the website by having a schedule page set up with a schedule shortcode or block, and there it is. It's showing the rota that I've created so far. It's showing the empty blocks where there's nothing there. People can download the PDF version. They can download it as a comma separated file for use in Excel or something like that. They can also choose different months. Not a lot of point because I haven't populated an awful lot there, but hopefully those features are really simple to use, and hopefully it helps you to use the plugin more powerfully. One last thing before we go, let's go back to that screen. We can do on the main menu screen, we can set up automatically emailing people when the rota is ready. So you can click on that item there, auto email schedule. You can set up which service you want to do. Well, we've only got one service. You can set up what day it goes out, so we'll put Thursday as just a reminder. There's a little message section that you can fill out there and press save. Now what that does is create a cron job within WordPress, and on a Thursday morning it will send out the rota to everybody there. If they've got the app, they'll get a ping as well on their push notification. So that makes things really simple with an automatic schedule. You can also email it manually by clicking each week. If you wanted to do that, you can also send it by text message if you've got text messaging set up. There you go. Thanks for watching.